Trinity and Lucifer, D.G. Wonder First Series. Written by D.G. Lampalus.
Mundus Novice. Chapter 17, Revelation.
The truth of all things boils down to one word: breathing. Inhalation and exhalation belong to opposite poles, but neither can be missing. From small organisms on Earth to the entire universe, the basic condition for their operation is breathing. If breathing is unbalanced or stops, everything in the universe will also face destruction. Black holes absorb matter in the universe and exhale energy. From a microscopic perspective, the appearance of black holes destroys celestial bodies and life. But from a macroscopic perspective, the universe needs the energy released by black holes. It makes certain substances disappear and destroy, but it also creates new substances. Life continues in an endless cycle, and this is also the principle of balance in nature. Death and darkness are not scary, they are inevitable processes in all things. What is scary is not being able to face and accept them and choosing to escape and fear. Trinity and Rahu met for the first time at the beginning of the universe, and they understood each other's importance. Although they exist in two opposing universes, they are also closely connected to each other. Since their separation at the beginning of the universe, Trinity and Rahu have each developed their own multiple universes in parallel spaces of light and darkness. Until their second encounter today, this gap has experienced countless cycles of spring and autumn in the human world.
Trinity, our first contact, was at the beginning of the universe. The purpose was to plan the blueprint for the birth of the universe and our respective developments. We each worked in our own universes, creating life and establishing infinite possibilities in diverse space-times. However, this time our second encounter is to communicate about the end of the world. In my dark universe, I see the possibilities of multiple universes developing. Most of the diverse universes can see that the consumption of black holes is increasing and they are absorbing more nutrients. Since I cannot see the diverse worlds that have developed in your bright universe, but from the expanding trend and speed of black holes, we can all foresee that doomsday will eventually come.
Rahu, under the multiple possibilities of my bright universe, I have seen the arrival of the apocalypse. The Four Horsemen of the apocalypse have awakened. They are knights who can freely enter and exit wormholes without being distorted or transformed. They are gradually sounding the horn of the apocalypse. In our respective universes, you and I have created different forms of life. Although we live in parallel universes without contact, wormholes connect us. However, the Four Horsemen are not beings created by you and me. Their existence is born from the nutrients of wormholes. Black holes absorb matter and release energy through white holes. In this process, 90% of the material components are transported from one parallel universe to another, while the remaining 10% remains in the wormhole space. Over time, these remaining components ferment and give birth to individual lives, nurturing today's horsemen of the apocalypse. They are the white horseman carrying a bow and arrow, the red horseman carrying a sword, the black horseman carrying a scale, and the pale horseman carrying a sickle. Wherever they go, they bring plague, famine, war, and death. They are all symbols of destruction. Before the world is destroyed, they will come with weapons and sound the horn.
Yes, for the end of the world, we are all mentally prepared. Everything that has a beginning must have an end, and the end is just the beginning of another. Just like us, we are all omnipotent gods in our respective universes, but we also have limitations. In your universe, I, Rahu, am not a god, but just the dark side of life that you created, and in my world, nothing exists for you. The alternation of all things is such an interesting thing, and in the eternal truth of the universe, there always exists two opposing energies that give birth to each other. Today it's me, Rahu, and you, Trinity, but tomorrow it could be others. We are just names that could disappear in the universe, but these two positive and negative energies will never disappear. In the laws of the universe, omnipotence never exists, only balance. If there is only one omnipotent life form, the infinite expansion within will eventually lead to infinite shrinkage because its dominance cannot bear even a straw. But the two opposing energies that give birth to each other exist between heaven and earth. They rely on and supervise each other, making sure neither side becomes complacent and both sides develop. In the vast universe, Rahu and Trinity's positive and negative energies push the universe's movement. In your parallel world, there are also the energies of the evangelist angel and Satan, representing light and darkness. I used to think that our Asura clan was a blessed people. Although our parallel universe had a very harsh environment, our strong people were the only ones that existed. I didn't realize that there was another energy threatening us, but in the end, I discovered that this fallacy could not exist. When the black hole officially operates, the Four Horsemen of the apocalypse have begun to gestate, and our clan can only accept destruction in the face of the Four Horsemen. Trinity, our Asura clan, can easily devour the soul of the life forms you created but cannot defeat the Four Horsemen. And only the energy from the light, which comes from you and your evangelist angel, can subdue the riders of the apocalypse.
Rahu, I have seen the vision of the apocalypse in my multiverse. In my world, the Four Horsemen will bring the signs of the end of days. They will respectively bring plague, war, and famine to humanity, causing a quarter of the population on Earth to die. As a result, the world will become more marginalized, dictators will rise, and false gods will appear. The remaining people will be in a state of panic, and the army of Satan will take advantage of their weakness and fear to deceive the masses. Lucifer will be worshipped as a god by humans for a time, as she uses their weakness to push herself onto the altar. She will take on the form of a dragon, and humans will worship her, hoping to gain a little peace. But when the seals and trumpets are opened, my Archangel Michael will lead the army of angels to descend upon the world again. Finally, I will return to the world as the Messiah riding on a shining horse. The radiant knights will lead the Four Horsemen of the apocalypse back through the wormhole. The coming of the end times is also the beginning of a new world, and at that time, souls will understand the true meaning. The earth that I designed was originally a spiritual dojo. The human body, three-dimensional space, and four-dimensional timeline were originally limitations and restrictions that brought about awakening through practice. The desire for worldly possessions seems to be the temptation of Lucifer and Satan, but it is actually the soul's own attachment to the world. Money, power, and lust are only amplified desires through Satan, but as long as one does not let go of oneself, one will still live in the pain of the world. Lucifer and Satan are also shadows projected by Rahu's dark universe, adding a balance of dark energy to my world through your distant parallel universes. Money, power, and lust themselves are not the problem, but the excessive pursuit of desire that ultimately leads life into the abyss. The coming of the end times is also a spiritual awakening in another sense, as I see the development of humanity in multiple universes. High technology and rapid growth were originally a good thing, but they brought about endless desires. The downfall of every highly civilized society was not due to the civilization itself, but the endless pursuit of it. This desire caused souls to ignore the wholeness of the universe and destroyed the balance of nature's laws. In the long flow of life, every peak is followed by decline. In multiple parallel universes of Earth, technology and the internet will unlock the mysteries of the universe, stars, time, nature, and life for humans. But this well-intentioned thing is being used by evil desires. Some groups will use technology to gain mastery of information and then use this advantage to control the lives of others. Although some life is being destroyed in the universe, and some is being born, from a macro perspective, positive and negative energy are both for the balance of the universe and the development of a better world. But if one sacrifices the overall interests of the world for one's own benefit, this violates the laws of the universe and will ultimately be destroyed. So as Rahu said, we can be replaced, but positive and negative energy and the Four Horsemen of the apocalypse will never disappear.
Trinity, there's something I'm very curious about. I believe you know that before we became the yin and yang, there was a big bang in the universe. It was precisely because of this big bang that our lives were able to begin. But did the Mother of the Universe ever talk to you about or say anything about what happened before this big bang?
Hope you enjoy the wonders and fantasies of the stories in the universe. Which part of the story is your favorite? Leave a comment below the video and let me know. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up and turn on the notification bell if you enjoy our videos. In our next chapter, we will continue to explore the universe. See you soon.